Ladies and gentlemen, this is Annie West, and I'd like to welcome you to the second annual Virtual USA Flying Club Airshow. Coming to you live from Galesburg Municipal Airport in beautiful Knox County, Illinois. Virtual USA Flying Club members, and perhaps a few surprise visitors, will be putting on daring and exciting routines for our fellow club members, as well as our wonderful Twitch viewers, all while performing live on the VATSIM network. Each of our performers have been practicing for weeks and will be given up to 8 minutes to show off their flight simulator skills in a variety of fun and unique aircraft. So, for the next few hours, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And now, your airshow commentator extraordinaire, Jeffrey Beckers!
Thank you, Annie West, for that amazing introduction. Hello, Virtual USA Flying Club members and fans. I'm Jeffrey Beckers, your host and MC for today's broadcast of the second annual Virtual USA Flying Club Airshow. Our performances will begin in just a few moments, but first I'll send you back to Annie West for a few words about today's airshow sponsors.
The second annual Virtual USA Flying Club Airshow is sponsored by VATSIM, VAT USA, Virtual Chicago ARTCC, Jeffrey B., Jet Pilot Cinnamon, Melvin Leroy, November 8033 Fox, Eric Flight, Slant Alpha Adventures, the Bush League Backcountry Flying Series, Downwind Sim Binoculars, the best binos in flight sim, Voyager Aviation, Virtual U.S. Coast Guard. This is Annie West, and now back to the show.
Welcome back, everyone. Our Virtual USA Flying Club founding father, Mike Cinnante, is already in the air. So let's get down to the field and start the show.
Mike Charlie, cleared into the box.
There you can see Mike Cinnante is flying in on a Cessna 170, towing a banner. Mike's been simming for 16 years, the founding father of the Virtual USA Flying Club. You'll notice that his Cessna 170 is sporting a appropriate Virtual USA Flying Club livery, prominently displaying the red, white, and blue. Mike's interest in aviation started as a young lad watching the C-5s take off and land at Stewart Airport. He's a real-world A320 pilot. This banner's looking good. The Cessna 170 Bravo was first introduced in 1948. It runs as a Continental C-145-2 air-cooled flat 6, engine producing 145 horsepower. Cessna produced about 5,174 of these aircraft. Mike's planning to make 3 low passes with the banner in tow. We can't think of a better way for him to have started the show. As I mentioned, Mike is the founding member of the Virtual USA Flying Club. The Flying Club is comprised of hundreds of members with a shared interest in flying general aviation aircraft on the VATSIM network. The Flying Club has 4 to 6 organized group flights each month. Our Discord server is very active with members that are eager to share their experience, tips, and tricks in all aspects of flight simulation. Mike's now at the west end of the field, making his final turn for his final pass. We just want to let you know that the club is open to any VATSIM member in good standing with an interest in general aviation. During intermission, we're going to have a QR code that points to the link to join the Discord. Exclamation VUSAFC. Ladies and gentlemen, Mellow Mike's Infused Oils and Edibles shop has a display in Booth 2. Their flavor of the day is Mile High Magic. Supplies are going fast, so get there quick.
November 8033 Foxtrot, you're clear for takeoff.
I forgot to throw your label up there, Mike, sorry. Our next performer into the box today is Mike Minuck from November 8033 Foxtrot. I'll say that again. November 8033 Fox Twitch stream.
November 8033 Foxtrot, advise air boss when ready.
Mike's been simming for over 30 years. His preferred flight sim is X-Plane 12. Mike's got a full C-172 sim pit in his garage. He's literally recreated a Cessna 172 cockpit with gauges and monitors, so it literally looks like he's sitting and flying in the real aircraft when he's streaming on his Twitch channel. Mike's interest in aviation started because his grandfather was an ATP and he hung out in small airports most of his younger years to watch in awe as various aircraft took off and landed. Mike's first maneuver today is a low-speed prop hang. Into a recovered wing stall spin. Michael today is flying a Cessna 172F powered by a Continental 0300 145 horsepower piston engine. The aircraft was first introduced in 1965, and Cessna produced 1,437 of the 172 Foxtrots. Michael's now performing essentially a power-off inverted glide. Of course, as you'll notice, the aircraft engine is off now because the aircraft is not set up for inverted fuel pickups, and it's carbureted, so that's never going to work. So now he's recovered from his inverted flight, and he should restart his engine, and that was a success. Mike bought his first flight sim, Microsoft 4.0, about 35 years ago, and he's been flight simming ever since. I mentioned he has a full-scale 172 cockpit model. He's very thankful that his wife fully supports his hobby. And Mike's also excited on June 14th, last year, he became a private pilot. This next pass, we're expecting Mike to perform 2 rolls. And the first aileron roll is complete. The 1965 model 172F was introduced electronically operated flaps to the Cessna fleet. It replaced the old-fashioned lever-operated flap system. There's another aileron roll by Mike. This model was actually built in France by Reims Cessna as the Foxtrot 172 model until 1971. These models form the basis for the U.S. Air Force's T-41 Alpha Mescalero primary trainer, which was used throughout the 60s and 70s as an initial flight screening aircraft in the United States Air Force. And Mike's performing a back loop. Essentially, the pilot will go full power, pull back on the yoke, and try to stay on the same compass heading as he performs. Well, he's going to go face the opposite direction, but he wants to stay in line and not turn it into a spirally loop. And then right into a nice, soft landing. Nope, he's just performed a touch and go.
November 803 Fox, shot you. That's correct.
He has one more trick up his sleeve, it would seem. Mike's now performing what looked to be like a canyon turn or a wing over, where he climbed, kicked in the left rudder, and then let the airspeed pick back up as he faced back towards the ground. Mike just performed another loop. Now he's coming back around to the north side of the field. Mike's doing another, more like a tactical approach.
Runway 033 Foxtrot, you can clear the box.
And he's got his aircraft hopefully shut down before the end of the runway. And off the taxiway he goes.
Bogey 23, you're clear for takeoff. 5's ready.
Bogey 23, clear for takeoff.
Our next performer today is Rob Shearman Jr., flying the FG-1D Corsair. Rob Shearman Jr. is a Twitch streamer, and you can find his channel at Slant Alpha Adventures. Ladies and Rob has been simming for over 40 years, dating back to the earliest and most rudimentary sims available on the Commodore 64, and of course the earliest IBM clone PCs. He's flown in many flight simulation software, but his current favorite is, of course, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020.
Bogey 23, when you are ready, you are cleared into the box.
Bogey 23, Roger, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, back by popular demand, the Civil Air Patrol Ladies Auxiliary are back at Tent 10 and giving away free massages. Anybody that took advantage of that last year will want to do it again this year. So Rob's coming in for his first high-speed low-pass today. Each one of Rob's maneuvers today should be followed up with what is called a half-reverse Cuban. As he does his high-speed low-pass in clean position, he's now going to pull straight back on the yoke, come back around approximately 3/4 3/4 of the way around the loop and then perform a roll. Perhaps he's not doing a half reverse Cuban today. The reverse Cuban, my mistake. The reverse Cuban is he pulls up first, climbs to an appropriate altitude, then rolls upside down and pulls back on the yoke. And setting up for his low approach for a double aileron roll. Again, he's going to climb to appropriate altitude, roll upside down, and then pull back on the stick to form a circle to set up for his third pass. His next pass will be an inverted low pass.
Unable to find view ID 51.
His next Cuban reversal. And his next pass, we're expecting to see him perform a vertical loop. Rob's next pass is a high alpha to war power transition. Today's performance by Rob is in honor of his grandfather, Samuel Hartley Shearman. He was a World War II U.S. naval aviator whose career included missions in Corsairs, Wildcats, and Hellcats. His primary deployment was aboard the USS Bogue, whose combat squadron VC-19 was one of the most prolific hunters of German U-boats in the Atlantic Theater during the war. Hartley, as he was known, returned safely from his deployment and went into the construction business in Baltimore County, later serving on the country's Board of Education for many decades. Hartley passed away peacefully in December of 2017. His Navy uniform hat, as well as his leather flight helmet, now hang in the background of Studio 5, where Rob Shearman produces the Slant Alpha Adventures live stream. Rob's setting up another approach pass. Into another reverse Cuban. Oh, with a knife edge. Rob's interest in Rob's interest in flight sim developed early because his uncle had a career in civil aviation, his grandfather's service in the U.S. as a U.S. naval combat aviator in World War II. He's been a member of VATSIM since 2010, the former co-founder and chief flight instructor for VATStar, which is a virtual pilot training organization. He's been committed to improving the level of pilot education on VATSIM since 2015, including his work with VATStar, the Slant Alpha live stream, and a series of YouTube tutorials, along with active participation in many VATSIM-related online forums and Discord servers. Rob's coming in for he's configured for landing. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I'd also like to let everybody know that we are going to have a vote for best performance. The vote will go live at the end of the show. There will be a QR code that you can scan at the end. And also we will be providing links in the broadcast Twitch chat.
Great show, bogey 2-3, clear the box, clear the runway.
We're clear, and we'll let you know. Bogey 2-3 is clear.
November 489 Echo Foxtrot, you clear for takeoff, advise when ready. Takeoff and ready for takeoff, Landron Echo Foxtrot. 489 Echo Foxtrot, you cleared into the box. Roger, cleared into the box, Landron Echo Foxtrot.
Our next performer will be LeMarier. Eric's been simming for 26 years. His preferred sim is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Eric's interest in aviation began watching his brother fly in the simulator and wanted to do it as well. Eric is a streamer. You can find him on Twitch TV/EricFlight. Eric today is flying the Stearman PT-17 biplane, initially introduced in 1934. Over 8,000 aircraft were produced, including the Model 70, 75, and 76. Eric's setting up for his next approach where he's performing some loops. One loop into the second loop. In late 1933, Stearman engineers took a 1931 Lloyd Stearman design and added cantilever landing gear and adjustable elevator trim tabs to produce the Model 70. It's able to withstand a positive 12 G load and a negative 9 G load. Unbelievable. The aircraft was powered by a 210 horsepower Lycoming R680 engine. First flew on January 1st, 1934. Eric is a real-world pilot and actually creates a lot of interesting aviation-inspired merchandise. You can go on Etsy and look up Eric Flight Aviation if you're interested in any of those products. Eric's performing in, is he going to do a hammerhead? Biplanes and triplanes are actually very well suited for that wing over maneuver we just saw Eric perform. I think he's going to do another hammerhead. Basically, they climb up to just short of a stall speed, kick in either hard right or hard left rudder based on their aircraft type. The aircraft essentially does a half of a flat spin pointed at the sky and then faces the ground, and they come back in to level off. Nice tight back loop. Eric is flying very shiny wings today. After World War II, thousands of surplus PT-17s were auctioned off to civilians and former military pilots. Many were modified for crop dusting with a hopper for either pesticide or fertilizer that was fit into the cockpit in front of the pilot. Additional equipment they put on, of course, were pumps, spray bars, nozzles. It's like another wing over to a bank turn approach. Into a back loop. Now, Eric's performing a Little wing wave for us. Into a steep climb. And a bank turn back to the field.
Be advised, last maneuver, Niner Foxtrot. Roger.
Mike's last maneuver is his final back loop. Eric's last maneuver. I got Mike on the brain today, folks. A wing wake to say hi to everybody on the field.
Box and a right down to one. Clear of the box and right traffic for landing on 2-1. Niner Foxtrot. Charlie Foxtrot, Victor India Juliet, you're clear for takeoff. Advisor ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Brody Meat Products is offering $1 happy ending hot dogs at tent number 11. They're located right next to the Civil Air Patrol Women's Auxiliary tent. Next pilot taking off now is Stephen Hayes, flying the Harvard Mark IV Royal Canadian Air Force livery.
Charlie Foxtrot, Victor India Juliet, when you are ready, you are cleared into the box. Into the box for Victor India Juliet, thanks.
Steve has been flight simming for 35 years, having started with Microsoft Flight Simulator 4 in 1989. His current preferred flight simulation software is X-Plane 12. Stephen's first interest in aviation started because his head was always looking skyward whenever he could hear a small plane fly over. The plane Steve is flying today is a Canadian Harvard Mark IV, basically developed in parallel with the American T6. Many of the AT-6s and T-6s were rebuilt in 1949 through 1953. His first maneuvers today are aileron rolls.
Unable to find view ID 56.
The Harvard Mark IV is powered by a Pratt & Whitney R1340 AN1 Wasp radial engine, producing 600 horsepower. Approximately 285 of these aircraft were produced. It was known by many names, including the Mosquito, the Window Breaker, and the Pilot Maker. Ladies and gentlemen, just another reminder that we are going to have a poll open at the end of the show for you to pick your favorite performance tonight. Steve came in a high-speed pass right into a back loop. The Harvard Mark IV has a 30-foot wingspan. Correction, it's got a 42-foot wingspan. It's 29 foot long. It has a maximum speed of 208 miles per hour, which is 181 knots, with a range of about 730 miles. It's got a service ceiling of 24,200 feet with a rate of climb of 1,200 feet per minute. In the military formation, it was capable of carrying 3 30 caliber machine guns. Now Steve is going to come and perform a high-speed pass. Steve got his PPL through the Windsor Flying Club in 1998 with the highest flight test score, the highest combined written and flight test, in the Windsor Flying Club for 1998. He trained in the PA-38 Tomahawk. He got checked out in a Cessna 172. This club had 4 Tomahawks, 3 Cessna 172s, as well as a PA-30 Twin Comanche and a Sita Bria. His last flight was, as picked, was October 11th, 2001, 1 month to the day of the 9/11 attacks on the Twin Towers. Steve's now going to perform a Cuban 8. This is where he's going to pull all the way back about 3/4 of the way around and do a roll, head back downhill, and execute a second back loop about 3/4 of the way through the back loop, followed by a roll. Roll might be a little offline, but that's okay. Although I see he's set himself up perfectly for his hammerhead stall and landing. Members, just another reminder, folks, that we are going to have a best performance vote at the end of the show. There'll be a QR code available after the last performer completes their run. There'll be links in our chat, QR codes on the screen, and the voting will remain open for 30 minutes after the end of the show. He's lining up for his final pass. Expecting Steve to make a low pass to the other end of the runway. Pull up sharply to almost stall the aircraft. Then kick the rudder one direction. To the left. As the aircraft stalls, it'll pick up speed and he'll be able to execute a recovery and then bank a turn to his landing.
Show complete exiting the box. You're clear out of the box. And a right downwind 2-1. Right downwind for 2-1, Victor India Julia.
All right, folks, we are about halfway through our first act of performances, so I think we're going to take a little break. So let's give our performers a big round of applause. Don't forget to vote for your favorite performer after the show. We're going to be back in... Wait, hold on. Stand by. Ladies and gentlemen, it appears that we've got an aircraft taking the field without authorization.
Stand by, we have unauthorized activity on the ramp.
What is going on here? Yeah, I can't. Unfortunately, my cameras are broken. I got to fix it in intermission. But there's a, ladies and gentlemen, there's a chase car following this. This person appears to be inebriated. What is going on here? Ladies and gentlemen, we have no idea what's going on. Oh dear, oh dear. Folks, do not try this at home, and don't try it at the next air show. My goodness. This is very erratic flying. Can we get any information on this pilot, anybody? All right, we're getting a report that this student, just been handed the information, this is apparently a student pilot that's been training for about 3 years and hasn't ever been approved for a solo. I guess her name is Lily Bevan, we're being told? Lily told her instructor that she does flight sim using Microsoft Flight Simulator. She got her initial Initial interest in aviation came from living under the approach path at London Heathrow. That appears to be a Cub Crafter's XCub, which is powered by a Lycoming O360 180 horsepower engine. This is very erratic and highly unrecommended flying, folks. The Cub Crafter's XCub was actually developed in secret for 6 years, with thousands of drawings being submitted to... Ooh, that was a close one, folks. Submitted to the FAA. They produced over 1,000 aircraft since 2016. I think at the rate this flight is going, they're going to have to produce another one after this. Speaking of which, folks, you should stop by the Bent Frame Pavilion and Beer Garden hosted by the Bush League Backcountry Fly-In. And be sure to try out the It'll Buff Out IPA. She's going to be able to land this thing? Can't tell if she's trying to land. She's certainly not afraid to use the rudder pedal. Just give me call signs when they stage, please. Roger. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a little bit out of control. We need to get her on the ground. Is she able to finally get the aircraft landed, we wonder?
The cub in the box here, clear to exit the box after this next pass here.
Oh, jeez. And speaking of it'll buff out IPA, I'm sure all of the scratches on the wingtips and everything will buff right out.
Performance complete, right down when Q1. November 157 Charlie X-ray, clear for takeoff, advise when ready.
Yeah, Edge 157 Charlie X-ray ready to hold that door.
November 157 Charlie X-ray, you're cleared in the box.
Okay, 7 Charlie X-ray, clear to take off, that's cleared.
Golf Bravo Charlie, India Romeo, just give way to the departing aircraft. We'll get away, engine ready.
The next performer today is Charles Berry, flying the Edge 540 for Team Red Bull. Charlie's also known as 7 Charlie X-Ray. He's done a lot of real-world glider training in the 1980s. He's got a wife, 2 daughters, 3 grandkids, and 2 dogs. He loves golf, RC electric, X-plane, and the Central California wine country. Born and raised as a permanent fixture in the LA area, he lived a short walk from Rat Beach.
Charlie X-ray 27.
Under the LAX Bravo.
Edge, you're cleared into the box.
Today he's flying the Zivco Edge 540, manufactured by Zivco Aeronautics, is a highly aerobatic aircraft, capable of 420 degree per second roll rate and a 3,700 foot per minute climb rate. It has flown to victory on the International Unlimited Aerobatic Circuit several times since the mid-1990s. His first pass is scheduled to be a high-speed low pass with a rolling climb out to a split S. It looks like it might have been a unintended touch and go with a broken prop.
Performing the edge, you alright? Rocket 2, you need a departure to start your performance, correct?
Confirm for Rocket 2.
Rocket 2, you're cleared into the box.
Rocket 2 is cleared in the box, ready to rock the skies over Galesburg.
That's Nick, right? Ladies and gentlemen, the next pilot to enter
Rocket 2,
the
you're cleared into the box.
show box today is Nick Vasquez, flying F-15 Eagle for the 336th Fighter Squadron. Pro power takeoff, flare, gear up. New immediate high speed climb. Nick has been simming for 9 years and his preferred simulator is P3D version 4. First pass is a high-speed pass.
Number 1.
Minimum radius turn. And we're expecting him to come in for several aileron rolls down the runway. Nice little photo pass. The F-15 Strike Eagle, powered by two Pratt Whitney F-100 PW-229 engines producing 58,000 pounds of thrust, 29,000 pounds each. United States Air Force produced approximately 218 F-15 Eagles. And here comes our 3 ailerons rolls. He's coming back in for his next pass. And we have a nice inverted to an inverted pass. This dual-role fighter was designed to perform air-to-air and air-to-ground missions. Aircraft uses 2 crew members, a pilot, and a weapons system officer. Array of avionics and electronic systems give the F-15 Echo the capability to fight at low altitude, day or night, and in all weather. Now he's coming in for an inverted pass to inverted the other direction. Nice and stable in the approach. He's coming back in for his next pass. Nice photo pass over the field. Arcing turn to allow everyone with good cameras to take great pictures. Going into a vertical climb. And now he's making a nice knife edge pass. To an inverted minimum radius turn. Coming in at a steep bank approach. Into a vertical climb. This aircraft had a low altitude navigation and targeting infrared for night. The system allowed the aircraft to fly at low altitudes at night and in any weather conditions to attack ground targets with a variety of precision-guided and unguided weapons. The APG-70 radar system also allowed air crews to detect ground targets from very long range.
Rocket 2 in the break.
Rocket 2, can you enter the right downwind, or excuse me, the left downwind for runway 21. You can clear out of the box.
Now Nick is performing what's called an overhead approach. Going into a break, and now he's going to be making a steep descending turn to land. And you can see that he's configuring for landing. The gear's coming down. Roger. Nick's setting up for his landing, and of course these aircraft land at a high rate of speed.
November 157 Charlie X-ray, you can line up 2-1.
Line up on 2-1 for Shearman Charlie X-ray.
Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we were able to find another Edge 540 for Charlie to fly today.
You're clear for takeoff. You are cleared into the box.
Charlie X-ray, Edge is clear for takeoff, runway 21 and cleared into the box. Southern Charlie X-ray.
The folks over at November 8033 Fox are hosting a seminar entitled, "Is Your Sim Pit Ever Finished?" Spoiler alert, no, it's not. The Edge 540, like I mentioned before, is capable of doing a 420 degree per second roll. What we aren't sure is whether that sim network will be able to put the data in that fast, so you might see some of his roll maneuvers look erratic and snappy, but the aircraft's flying smoothly. It's just how the data comes through. Doing one of two loops over the center, and then I predict he's gonna fly straight out into a half Cuban 8. I'm expecting a aileron roll over the airfield. Another half Cuban. Into an inverted pass down the runway. Yeah, the network just can't keep up with high-speed rolls. Into a back loop. Banking back out to line back up for his next pass. To looks like a full Cuban 8. Now he's headed for the sky. Vertical roll. Going for another high-speed low pass. Looks like a hammerhead stall. To a little bit of a spin. And recovers nicely. That was an Immelman turn into a vertical ascent. And I think he's trying to stall the aircraft, at which point it's going to kind of spin out of control a little bit until he gets enough airspeed to recover. Right now you can see it tumble and spin, airspeed picks up. He gets that airflow across the control surfaces and he's able to recover. To another half Cuban. Into a back loop. To some cockamamie crazy aerobatic stuff.
Performance complete, exiting the box for right downwind to 2-1.
157 Charlie X-ray, exit the box, right downwind 2-1, thank you. And just give room, we're going to have the formation group depart before you land.
Copy that. We'll give you room for the formation group to depart for 7 Charlie X-ray. We'll hold out here.
First USA Flying Club, fantastic board. You are cleared for takeoff. Clear for takeoff, formation.
Our next performance group into the performance box today are the Virtual USA Flying Club Fantastic Four. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be the last performance for the first half of the show. When it's complete, we will have a 15-minute intermission. So you'll be able to grab a snack and come back, and we'll complete the show. By the way, Slant Alpha Adventures is set up at booth 16. He's offering a 10% discount to Airshow patron to his new streaming platform, Learn to Fly Fake Planes Like a Pro.tv. You can also pick up his popular pamphlet.
Number 2 rolling.
It's really fun to follow all the rules. What's the call sign for number 2?
Number 3 rolling. USA Flying Club Fantastic Four, you're cleared into the box when ready. This frequency is all yours. Formation cleared into the box. Number 1.
X-ray, box file will hold east of the runway. Box 7 Charlie X-ray, we're going to hold east of the runway.
So our Fantastic Four performers today are Ben Speidel in the T6G Texan, Stephen Hayes in the Harvard Mark IV that we saw earlier, David W. in the P51D Mustang, and Rob Shearman Jr. in his FG1D Corsair. We also saw Rob perform earlier today. The aircraft are working their way into position to form a diamond shape for their first pass.
Number 4. Formation start left turn now.
Seven Charlie X-ray, clear runway 21.
Thanks, sir.
As I mentioned, their first pass today is going to be the diamond formation. So amazing to see these majestic World War II aircraft flying in formation all these years later.
Formation left turn. Now.
Coming around for their second pass, the formation is known as a finger four formation.
Number 4, transition finger 4 right. Now.
Number 4.
They're making their way out to the other end of the performance box.
Turn. Now.
They're going to begin their left turn back towards the show field. The formation's making their way back towards the field for their finger four pass.
Formation left turn. Now.
They're coming back around, folks. They're setting up for their third pass where they're going to pass over the field in trail.
Formation in transition, echelon right. Now.
C2, 3 and 4 is in position. Okay, don't overshoot. I'll make room for you.
3's gonna leave room.
They should be getting out far enough away that they should be initiating their turn back towards the field.
Is number 2 in position for move into trail?
Number 2 is fighting all the turbulence from 1, 3, and 4, but I am almost there.
Apparently they're fighting turbulence out there from each other's...
Number 2 is just past number 4, passing number 3.
Turbulent wind coming off their wings.
We'll break in 3, 2, 1, break left.
Number 2.
Number 3.
Number 4.
They're coming in for their in-trail pass.
Formation rejoin Diamond on downwind.
Number 2's coming back inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, they're heading back out to the other end of the field to set up for their Diamond Show Pass.
Number 4, nice work, boys.
And again, just a friendly reminder, at the end of the air show, we are going to have a vote for the best performance of the show. So be sure to be ready to look for that QR code on our outro, as well as look for the link in chat. And if you're interested, of course, in flying on VATSIM and with general aviation aircraft, then you'll definitely want to look into joining the virtual USA Flying Club. The host of today's show here at Galesburg Municipal Airport.
Number 2, fighting all the wake turbulence again, 190 miles an hour, coming in from the back.
And as I mentioned, during intermission, there will be a QR code to join the Flying Club Discord.
Formation, start left turn. Now, number 2, you can rejoin and turn.
Number 2, we're with you.
4, we're in.
That's a Texan, our P-51D Mustang, our Corsair, and our Harvard Mark IV. Looks like they're set up in formation or ready to make their final pass over the field, folks. So this time, let's make sure we give them a huge round of applause.
Flying Club Formation 4. You guys can exit the box after this pass. Brake as necessary. We will enter the intermission after you guys arrive. Formation. Formation, start left turn now.
Are you ready to go to intermission yet? Ladies and gentlemen, they're going to The formation is going to come back around for fly the pattern and then come into land.
Formation transition echelon right. Now.
I don't see 2, 3, and 4 here.
2 is in position just too far back. I'm trying to catch up once again. Throttle is firewalled. We're doing 160 miles an hour. And continuing to lose airspeed. Number 2, I think I've got an engine problem here.
Number 2, can you follow number 4 after the break? Number 3 and 4, join on number 1.
Number 3. Number 2 is falling out of formation down to 120 miles an hour.
Alright, formation start left turn now. And number 2, you can take the runway if needed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a little issue with one of our aircraft is losing power, so we might find that he's coming in for an emergency landing.
Number 2 has still got the rest of the group in sight. We're just trying to follow in behind.
Getting reports that our P-51D pilot's having power and speed issues. Looks like they're coming around for their final approach turns. Our P-51D. Our Harvard's Dragon Trail. Our Corsair's lined up for approach.
Number 1 in the break in 3, 2, 1, break.
Number 3 in 3, 2, 1, break. Number 2 is on short final, gear down.
4's in the break. 3, 2, 1, and break.
All right, so we'll check out our wait, who's number 2? What's the call sign? So I was mistaken earlier. It's not the P-51D that was having the issues. It was our Texan that was coming in, so looks like he got down safely. And then, not so safe.
Number 1, going around. Number 1, going around, staying left traffic. Number 3, short final landing.
Comes our Mustang in for his landing.
Number 2 is magically back on the ramp.
Four space to final.
Nice landing by David.
Number 1, left downwind.
Here comes Rob Shearman in the Corsair for his final approach and landing.
Number 3 is clear of the active.
Rob is safely on the ground. And the leader of tonight's Virtual USA Flying Club Fantastic Four, Ben, is on final approach.
Four's clear in the active. I'll hold short for the taxi back on 3.
And Ben is down. Safe and sound. And ladies and gentlemen, as our Fantastic Four flying team taxis back to the ramp, we're going to call that the end of our first act of performers. So we are going to take approximately, well, it's going to be exactly a 15-minute intermission. When we come back, we're going to complete the second half of the air show. So take a quick break, but come back as soon as you can. You don't want to miss a minute.
Hello, everyone. I hope everyone has enjoyed the first half of the Virtual USA Flying Club Air Show. We appreciate you joining us for the broadcast this afternoon. We have a special compilation of Twitch clips that we will be running now for the intermission so that you guys aren't just staring at a screen waiting for the second half of the show. We'll have clips from myself, Jet Pilot Cinnamon, Eric Flight, November 8033 Foxtrot, Melvin Leroy, Slant Alpha Adventures, and of course our broadcasting host Jeffrey B. will have some clips as well. If you are interested in joining the Virtual USA Flying Club, there should be a QR code or a link provided somewhere on the screen in front of you. If you enjoy general aviation and you are a VATSA member, we'd love to have you join the Virtual USA Flying Club. Always looking for more people to join that appreciate and enjoy general aviation. Enjoy these clips during the intermission, and we also hope that you enjoy the second half of the show. Good work.
Stokes County in the state of North Carolina. It's absolutely true. This man murdered his family, his wife.
Oh, we're gonna be in the bushes. Ooh.
His name was Charlie Lawson.
Boy.
The story.
Oh, we're skipping along, hopping along. Are we gonna stop in time? I don't think so.
I don't even have a VOR.
No! Oh, no. We lost an airframe. Uh-oh. I wrecked out. Oh, look, we're right here with another wrecked out airplane. Surprise. Look at that. We found, oh, Lord. We found freaking Downwind's, or, what's his name? Slant Alpha's plane.
This was a desperate, I was ready to pee myself, and then I slammed the brakes. Yeah, okay, well. Perfect. Alright, yeah, I'm glad nobody clipped that. My God. Alright, so, what do we got going on here?
Little uphill should help, though. Whoa, big bounce. Big bounce. Yeah, that no. Nailed it. Darn it. I was so close. I just got a little impatient on the brakes. Oh man, I'm gonna need to have some help flipping that back over, guys.
Denver Center, citation 514 Delta Victor.
Citation 514 Delta Victor, go ahead.
Yeah, we died. You can cancel IFR.
Citation 4 Delta Victor, sorry to hear that. IFR cancellation received time 00. Thanks for flying.
Have a good one.
You too.
Alrighty then.
Let's get on to the taxiway here. Put ourselves into the line. Oh, my rudder pedals are sliding on
November
the floor.
275 Echo Kilo, currently heading clear, runway 31 light, pound says VFA to Petro, 2 mile away.
Well, I didn't expect that. Wasn't expecting the helicopter oh, this is awkward.
We'll see. Try pulling back a little quicker this time. Oh, I think I got it. There you go. There's a loop for you, sir. Right rudder. Back on the throttle really fast. And there you go. Not realistic at all. But I ended up pretty good because you still see Assawampset Pond there, which is my visual to get back to Plymouth. So there you go, sir. Worth the kill. I hope you appreciated that.
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Hello, Dave.
Full on left rudder there, and I was not turning. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy wind. Holy cow. Okay. Oh, wait, that's not why I'm not turning. I'm not turning because I'm an idiot. I have to arm the steering. Hey, how you doing? I'm kind of a pro. Jeez. This one you think you got it figured out.
Delta 1203 San Francisco Tower, runway 28 left, cleared to land.
Mr. Airbus is asking about our throat and yaddle. If you want to... God, it's going to be a long night, guys. Want some information about our throat and yaddle, you can go down there underneath the About tab or over on our Discord server, and all of our hardware and software that we use as part of the setup is listed over there for you.
November 80-991 at gate Bravo 10 with uniform, requesting VFR to Baltimore, Washington International.
November 80-991, Washington Tower, good evening. Cleared into the Washington Class Bravo airspace. Maintained VFR at or below 2,500. Departure frequency 119.85. Squawk 2217.
Cleared into the Bravo class airspace. Departure frequency 109.85. 85.
Aider?
VFR at 2,500.
I hardly know her.
2217 80-991.
809091 read back correct. Expect runway 1. Information Juliet correct. I try not to work blue, but I couldn't help myself on that one.
DCA Tower, American 2004, radio check.
American 2004, Washington Tower, good evening. Got you 5x5. Hater damn near killed her, right?
November 611 Mike Whiskey, holding short runway 33 at Foxtrot.
Remember 611 Mike Whiskey, make left closed traffic, runway 33, wind 330 at 9er, runway 33 clear for takeoff, report midfield downwind. Don't be an hater.
611 clear for takeoff, runway 33, left close, but downwind can't speak today, sorry.
November 611 Mike Whiskey, I'm sorry, say again.
Stand by, I didn't write that down.
No problem, sir. I'm sorry, I'm a bit distracted that it's not you.
Because pretty soon I'm going to be too drunk to inebriate. We're going to be too inebriated to enunciate. I'll be too enunciated to inebriate. I'm going to be too enunciated to inebriate. That's what I was going to say. Too enunciated to inebriate.
It's one of two things: undereducation or over inebriation.
Someone's paying attention. Thanks.
I'm gonna be disappointed if it's not modeled in 12. Oh, what the heck kind of low bridge is...
I don't think we can go under that one.
No, that's not happening. Alright, so I'm gonna have to get my butt in the blender and develop that bridge. Oh, wait a minute. My bad.
Wrong bridge.
Wrong bridge. I knew it was in here. For you, Martha.
Whoa. I don't know if you guys saw what happened right there, but that was how hard I was pushing on the brakes. That was awesome.
21.9 is the ground frequency. Okay, I'll do that the old-fashioned way or the cheating way of the pilot. Let me go taxi out and get a taxi clearance. That's so fantastic. I gotta remember to go back later and clip this. What time is well, I'm only 10 minutes into the stream. That'll be easy to remember. All right, well.
It just spit whiskey all over my lap. It's fine, I'm sure. Anyway. Rob, do not clip.
Rob's already clipped it and shared it.
Why do people do this to themselves?
Can everyone Move to the back of the plane, please. Yeah, you guys do me a favor. Hop out here.
Wow. And this is a real life, like, I don't know if you guys have met Brett Lee and Hammer the second. It is. He's got that same hat his mom sent him when he was 10. He's just kept it forever. And he's a big fan of the going sleeveless with the vest and matching trousers. Nice job. Nice job. All right, well, Fixie, I'll give you a lift down to Cordova Muni.
We want to make a, oh my goodness. That can't be real. Mr. Scooter says, you hit it hard enough, it's, uh-oh, you know what? On that little roller coaster dip, we struck our prop in the prop strike. Well, I guess we're going to have to just park it here, guys. See if I can at least get it off the runway. You guys want to help me jump out and push? Alright, let's disconnect from Matsim then. Alright, that's really not fair. What the heck did I hit? Yeah, come on, that's not fair.
And Jennings traffic 365, Bravo here, we are clear of runway 35, Jennings.
Jennings traffic, Cessna 124 Mike Charlie. We're going to depart runway 35 for the left traffic.
And Jenny, Kit Fox Cinnante is left
Check.
downwind 35.
Oh man, where's push it off?
And Jennings traffic, disregard 124 Mike Charlie. We're going to have to reconnect. Are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding me.
John, is everything okay? Do we need to send someone?
No, I'm good. It's just, it's purely my.
This is Annie West, and now back to the show.
And welcome back, everyone. We're going to go back to the field and get our next pilot in the air as soon as possible. Enjoy the second half of the Virtual USA Flying Club Airshow. And our next pilot into the box is Rob Marcinek, flying the Fokker DR-1 Snoopy.
Snoopy, you are clear for takeoff. You are cleared into the box.
Cleared to the box.
Rob Marcinek is flying a Fokker DR-1, which is a World War I fighter aircraft developed by Fokker Aviation in Germany, famously flown by the Red Baron. Rob's been simming for 5 years. Kind of shares his flight simming duties between X-Plane 12 and Microsoft Flight Simulator. There you go, see Snoopy flying by. Rob's interest in aviation started because his father was an Air Force aircraft mechanic. The Fokker DR-1, known as the dry-decker, which is simply a triplane, it's a well-worn fighter aircraft. It saw widespread service in the spring of 1918. It became famous as the aircraft which Manfred von Richthofen gained his last 17 victories. This is actually a replica of the Fokker DR-1. It's more suitable for vintage air shows. It does have steerable tail wheels and brakes, unlike the original aircraft that had no brakes and basically just a wooden skid on the tail. There was about 320 DR-1s made, but none have survived of the original. The last few were actually bombed during World War II. This aircraft is highly maneuverable. It was famous for its steep climbs. It was no other aircraft at the time could keep up with the rate of climb. It was considered deadly in combat. All right, he's coming in for his first pass. He's doing a nice barrel roll. Snapping it back around. Minimum radius canyon turn. He's going to give a barrel roll another go. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got smoke on. He's coming back in for his next pass. This aircraft, like I said, is highly maneuverable. It's capable of barrel rolls, hammerheads, wingovers. The only thing you got to be a little careful of in the real aircraft is the top wing would like to rip off at high G maneuvers. And Rob's lining up to come back with Snoopy to do a loop-de-loop. Should look pretty cool in the smoke. Smoke looks pretty amazing, I'm not going to lie. You can see that Snoopy livery. It pays homage to the Peanuts cartoons. Snoopy would often appear in the cartoon as a World War I fighting ace. While Rob's setting up for his next pass, I just want to remind people that Eric Flight is set up at Table 9. His 2025 calendar fundraiser of the month is available for purchase. Plus his full complement of Eric Flight Aviation Etsy products are available for sale. Rob's setting in for his next pass. Attempt a right barrel roll. Looks like smoke coming on. Oh, and he's got red smoke, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? A little bit easier to see, higher contrast than this beautiful clear day today here in Galesburg, Knox County, Illinois. I'm not sure what barrel he was rolling, but he gave her a good try. Nice wing over. And Rob's circling to come back in for his last pass, which we expect to be an inverted pass.
Papa Tango staged.
We're honored to have Rob Marcinek bring in this wonderful warbird to our air show tonight. He's coming in for his last pass. Looks like smoke is on. Let's give Snoopy a big round of applause.
Snoopy, you're cleared out of the box. You can enter right downwind for runway 21.
Right downwind 21.
November 965, Papa Tango, you're clear for takeoff. Advise when ready.
Ready for takeoff, Papa Tango.
Falcon Tango, cancel takeoff, return back to the gate, return back to the ramp.
Wrong ICAO code.
It's a BD5J. CPN final.
CPN clear to land.
Stand by. Folks, we're having a technical difficulty. We'll be right back to the show in a moment.
It was a BD5 on that, Sim.
Stand by, we're going to find the correct code for you.
Check. Okay.
We'll be right back, folks. We just had a little bit of a technical glitch that's going to happen from time to time. Meanwhile, Mike Cinnante is out on the field, driving around making safety checks.
Alright.
965 Papa Tango, you're clear for takeoff, you're clear into the box.
Clear into the box, clear for takeoff, up Tango.
Okay, with that out of the way, we're back in action. Our next pilot to perform tonight is Benjamin Landron, flying the BD-5, one of the smallest microjets in the world. Ben's been simming for about 10 years. He uses Microsoft Flight Simulator. His grandfather was a pilot in the Air Force, and his father was a private pilot. So he's been around aviation at a very young age. He's flying the Virtual USA Flying Club Flying Team livery. The BD-5J is a micro-turbo TRS turbojet engine producing just 225 pounds of thrust, introduced in 1973. At the time held the world's record for the smallest flying manned jet aircraft and is famous for being used in the 1983 James Bond movie Octopussy. Ben has had his PPL since 1987. He built his own kit plane in 2008. He sold it a few years ago, misses the heck out of the aircraft, but does not miss the hangar fees. We're expecting him to do a high-speed pass around at 225 knots. Turning right. Banking left to come around for his second pass. By the way, folks, Melvin Leroy has free Bravo Tour gift bags at his booth near Hangar C. Stop by in his book, How to Start Any Aircraft in Under an Hour. He'll be signing books at his booth after the show. So Ben's coming in, as we like to say, slow and dirty. His gear's down, his flaps are down. It's coming in nice and slow. It's amazing, a jet aircraft can go as fast as 225 knots, but its landing configuration is just 60. There you can see the flaps down. Gears coming up. Flaps coming up. Get back to being configured clean. So he's turning left to get ready for his right-hand turn to set up for his next pass. I'm not sure if it's the smallest manned flying jet anymore. I think the Cree has that distinction, but this is certainly the smallest single engine. It's coming through right now with an inverted pass. Rolls out, brakes right. And he's going to set up to come back around for his next pass. He's getting lined up now. In this pass, we think he's going to perform a series of aileron rolls. Nice and smooth. Nice, smooth rolls right back into level flight. Well done. Now he's turning to the left. He's going to brake right and get lined up for his last and final pass of the performance. We're expecting to see full or a half Cuban 8. Kind of depends on what his mood is today. He's pulling back in, so this is going to be a regular Cuban 8. The first half. And it looks like he's going to do the full Cuban 8. Pulling into his 3/4 loop. Once he reaches the apex of the loop just beyond, he'll roll back to level flight, aim down at the ground, and level off his approach at a few hundred feet over the runway.
BD5 complete.
BD5 cleared out of the box, enter right down runway 21. BD5, you can keep it tight. The next aircraft will be starting their performance from the runway.
Papa Tango.
And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've noticed yet, but our next performer is entering the runway. If you squint, you might be able to notice his C-17 Globemaster lining up for takeoff.
Papa Tango extended downwind. We're going to get him started first.
Alright, extend downwind for Papa Tango.
Tin Can 8, you're cleared into the box.
And Brant Nyberg, call sign Tin Can 8.
Tin Can 8 cleared into the box.
Cleared into the box, Tin Can 8.
It's about to take off. You can catch Brant on Twitch TV on the Melvin Leroy channel. We expect this to be a full power takeoff.
You can turn him down. Clear to land.
Clear to land.
Brant's been flight simming for 10 years. His preferred sim is Microsoft Flight Simulator. His interest in aviation got started by hanging out at the Clark County Airport in South Dakota with his grandpa. Brant just performed his tactical takeoff. We're expecting him to do a high G turn. And line himself up for his next pass.
Papa Tango, clear.
Thank you, sir. Good show.
Thanks.
He's coming around his high G turn now. Brant is flying the McDonnell Douglas Boeing C-17 Globemaster. It's sporting four Pratt & Whitney F-117 turbofans capable of 40,440 pounds of thrust each. Aircraft was introduced in 1991 and 223 were produced, with 157 still on active duty. Each one of those big aircraft cost about $202 million, which seems cheap at twice the price. Looks like Brant's lining up for his first parade pass. This aircraft was originally designed to replace the Lockheed C-141 Starlifter. Now we're expecting to see a wing overturn, which it's amazing how agile this aircraft is for such a big, what looks to be like a big lumbering hunk of metal in the sky. And Brant's lining back up for his next parade pass. If you didn't think to take pictures on the last flyby, now is a great opportunity. Now Brant's expected to pull a high G turn. And while we're waiting for Brant to come back to the field, I just want to remind everybody that Jet Pilot Cinnamon is giving away Make Mike sweat towels to the first 50 people to stop by table 17. Make Mike sweat towels are also available for $11.43 $11.43 plus tax. The C-17 Globemaster is used to perform strategic airlifts, troop transport, airdrops, medical evacuation, and humanitarian aid missions. It's got a maximum payload of 170,900 pounds. That's enough for 102 troops or 10 armored Humvees, 2 tractor trailer trucks, or 1 Abrams tank. Normally it would have a 3-man crew, but Brant's doing all 3 duties. The pilot, co-pilot, and loadmaster. Takeoff and landing distance of this aircraft is as short as 3,500 feet. We're expecting Brant to demonstrate that with a tactical arrival. The C-117 is actually rated for descents of up to 20,000 feet per minute during a tactical arrival, which is essentially a high approach, and then the aircraft essentially points down at like a 40-degree angle. Steep approach angle. And can still flare out and land in a very short distance. This aircraft has a service ceiling of 45,000 feet. It can cruise at 450 knots. And has served missions all over the globe. Now you can see the gears coming out. You can see him pitching down. His flaps are full. And he's begun his, what must feel like, straight at the ground descent. He still has a high rate of descent compared to a normal aircraft. And look at how short he landed. He probably could have landed and held short of the intersecting runway. As it is, he's showing off by taxiing before he got to the intersecting runway.
Kenny, nice show. You're clear out of the box. Welcome back.
Clear out of the box, Kenny.
Be right back after a word from our sponsors.
The second annual virtual USA Flying Club.
Kenny, we're clear.
Part by Downwind Sim Binoculars. Do you have problems locating airports in the sim from 20, 30, 40, or even 50 miles away? Don't worry. Use the best optics in flight simulation. The Downwind Sim Binoculars. Experience clear, sharp visuals from unrealistically far distances with Downwind Sim Binoculars. Downwind Sim Binoculars never take off without them. Objects.
November 9109 Romeo, you're clear for takeoff. Advise and ready.
Romeo, taking the runway, should be ready to go in 10 seconds.
November 9109 Romeo, you are cleared into the box.
09 Romeo, cleared into the box.
And our next pilot to enter the performance box today is Ben Speidel. He's been simming for over 20 years. He started flying on Microsoft Flight Sim 98 in the late 90s. His preferred sim is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Ben is on the roll, folks. Gear's coming up. Ben's family had no previous history with aviation. He just fell in love with it at a young age. Lived just outside, right into a barrel roll. Well done, Ben. He's going to go in the loop. Well, looks like he's coming around for another pass first. He lives outside of an old farm purchased by retired Northwest Airlines pilot and Minnesota Aviation Hall of Famer Chuck Doyle. He can remember as a 4-year-old wanting to be in Chuck Doyle's aircraft, which was more often than not a turquoise Stearman. To Ben, the sound of summer was a Stearman doing a run-up. Ben's doing a barrel roll with black smoke. And over time, the county ran a road through Chuck's property, and his planes were relocated, and the fun ended until 2014, when a chance encounter with his family saw the same turquoise Stearman overhead south of the Twin Cities. Turns out Chuck Doyle Sr. passed away, but his son Chuck Jr. had his dad's planes put him back in the air. Looks like Ben is starting a climb into a loop. Very nice. Ben's hoping his kids will grow up and move out of the house so he can afford to start taking private pilot lessons. Tonight he's flying a Beech Craft Model 18 with the Matt Yunkin performance paint job. The aircraft features two Pratt & Whitney R985 engines capable of producing 450 horsepower each. This aircraft was actually introduced in the late 1930s and used heavily during World War II. Smoke's coming on. I think we're expecting a Cuban 8 this time. Yep, he's over the loop, he's doing his roll. Back down to a low approach, where he should enter another loop to complete the Cuban 8. Stick back, keep it coming around. So interesting that aircraft has the power to do that. And then he will initiate another roll. It always looks to me like it's about to stall out before it comes on over the top. There's over 9,000 of these aircraft produced. It was used in several different configurations during World War II, including a modification to make it tricycle gear aircraft. Now Ben's lining up to do, hopefully, an 8-point roll. Well done. I've just been handed this note. The Chicago ARTCC is also giving away free StarSet headsets in tent number 27. Free push-to-talk is not included. It's coming back for a high-speed photo pass. Right out over the ramp. Lining up for his second pass. What's he got up for his sleeve for us this one? Looks like the gear's coming down. Now his gear's back out. Just making several high-angle passes, showing off for the crowd.
09 Romeo is complete.
09 Romeo, clear the box and overfly the field, join the right downwind for runway 21.
Overfly the field, enter right downwind, 09 Romeo.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fine folks at Fly By Night Charters wants to remind business and vacation travelers that they do have scheduled flights during the day.
November 8th, 1 hotel uniform, you are cleared into the box.
And cleared into the box, 8-1 hotel uniform.
09 Romeo, just reference the traffic departing, you're clear to land.
Clear to land, 09 Romeo.
Our next performer, taking off from left to right, is David W. Flying the Moonbeam McSween.
Def 1-1 Airbus. Go ahead for Def. 10 minutes.
That'd be the Moonbeam McSwine. I apologize for my stuttering. As you can probably tell, David is flying the iconic North American P-51D Mustang. Dave's been simming for almost 40 years. He prefers Microsoft Flight Simulator, though he does fly an X-Plane 12 and DCS. He got interested in aviation by picking up a book about airplanes when he was 4 and has been fascinated ever since. Having built models, Lego contraptions, drawing pictures, and ended up with a degree in aircraft engineering. We're expecting his first pass to be a slow aileron roll. The plane being flown tonight represents Moonbeam McSwine, flown by Bill Wisner, the 352nd Fighter Group based in Bodney, England. They're known as the Blue-Nosed Bastards of Bodney. Wisner is one of very few people who is an ace in multiple wars, achieving the title in both World War II with 15.5 kills and in Korea. We're expecting a leg roll. The 352nd primarily performed bomber escort duty using P-47s and later P-51s. They sometimes participated in ground attacks, including preparatory attacks for Operation Overlord, which was, of course, the Normandy invasion. The group is the subject of the book Fighter Group by J. Stout, and also the subject of a DCS module. Now he's performing a 4-point hesitation roll. The current Moonbeam McSwine was restored in 1975. It's currently owned by the Warbird Heritage Foundation, based in Waukegan, Illinois, and still flies in air shows. Looked like it might have been a half Cuban loop. To a parade pass. The engines are Packard-built V1657 Merlin liquid-cool V12 engine producing 1,315 horsepower. Plus it includes a 2-stage supercharger so it can maintain full power at 30,000 feet. Nice, clean loop. Yep, it looks like that was another Cuban over the far end of the field. Into another loop or half Cuban. We'll see what happens. Looks like he's going into a loop. run into vertical. Hammerhead? Coming back for another approach. Whoa, camera operator got crazy. Eight-point roll. Or I guess that's a 4-point hesitation roll, my bad. Into an aileron roll. Making a minimum radius turn. Set up for his next pass. Coming in inverted into an aileron roll. Back to inverted. Looks like a wing over turn to come back for the field for the next approach. Ladies and gentlemen, you probably want to get your cameras out for this one. We're expecting a beautiful photo pass. A gorgeous aircraft. Moonbeam mixed swine is coming around. One of the last few passes. Let's see what he's got in store for us, folks. It's like a nice high-speed low approach, low pass. It's just beautiful, clean configuration. Into a wing wave.
Routine complete.
F11 for CMM.
F11 is inbound.
Alright, 1 hotel uniform, you're cleared out of the box. You can maneuver to enter right downwind for runway 21.
Out of the box, right downwind 21, 1 hotel uniform.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special performer inbound. In the meantime, I did want to let everybody know that Ezra Blankenship, who's this year's winners of the Biathletic Cornholing and Corn Shucking County Championships, is signing autographs at booth 12. He just wanted to remind everybody to bring their own pen. We're expecting an aircraft to appear out of the yonder. And ladies and gentlemen, just another friendly reminder that there is going to be voting for the best performance of the air show. The vote is going to open as soon as the last performer is finished. There will be a QR code in our stream, and you'll have a link in the stream chat. The polls will remain open for a half an hour.
Nope, you're clear to land.
Alright, clear to land, 1 hotel uniform.
We're expecting him out there somewhere. Look at all the happy people here watching the air show with us today. Perfect day for flying here at Galesburg Municipal Airport. Practically no wind and not a cloud in the sky. There's our P-51D coming in to land. Nice footage of our Moonbeam McSwine landing on runway 21. And congratulations to this year's winner of the Chili Cook-Off. Clem Linger won in a mudslide with his Burning Throne Ride chili. And also, if you want to join the virtual USA Flying Club, somebody hopefully will be able to type !VUSAFC in the chat window, and you'll get a link for the Discord of the Virtual USA Flying Club. Again, hundreds of members. What the heck? There's an ops car like spinning out in the grass here by the taxiway. But yeah, the Virtual USA Flying Club have hundreds of members. We are all enthusiastic about flying general aviation flights on VATSIM.
Jet Fun 1, welcome to the show. You're cleared in the box.
And it looks like our next aircraft is coming into view now. Let's see if we can see him with the binoculars. Downwind sim binoculars. Ladies and gentlemen, may we present the B-2 Spirit. Piloted by Captain Derek Hookr. Call sign Death 11. Currently flying the colors of the 393rd Bomb Squadron. Hookr has been flight simming for about 3 years. He prefers to fly X-Plane 11. His family's has a background in aviation. So the spark was lit as a young child, and he's currently a real-world pilot for the Air Force. Again, this is a Northrop Grumman B-2, powered by 4 General Electric F-118 GE-100 non-afterburning turbofans, capable of 17,300 pounds of thrust each. This aircraft was first introduced in December of 1993. The first serial number, the Spirit of Missouri, delivered to Whiteman Air Force Base. A total of 21 B-2s have been produced. Certainly has an interesting design. The wingspan is 62 meters. He's coming around. We know one of these passes, yeah, the bomb bay doors are open, folks. So this next pass is with the bomb bay doors open. And the bomb bay doors are closing. If I didn't mention it before, this aircraft is not rated for aerobatics, so our show today is primarily going to be consisting of multiple low passes and parade passes over the field. But the sleek lines and stealth technology make it look worth looking at. It's like he's setting up for a cross-field parade pass. Right over the audience. Hang on to your hats, folks. Coming back around for his next pass. And another low pass over the crowd here at Galesburg Airport. And he's coming back around for one final pass, folks. So if you didn't get a good photo, get your cameras ready for this one. That's what freedom looks like, folks. A high-angled left bank turn.
F11, good show, you're clear out of the box. Safe travels back to Whitman.
And there she goes, folks.
394 Alpha Mike, you are cleared for takeoff. You are cleared in the box.
Clear for takeoff, cleared in the box, 4 Alpha Mike.
And for our penultimate performer today, folks, Nicholas Morelli is taking the runway in his F-16 Fightin' Falcon. Nicholas Morelli has been flying in sims since he was 10 years old. Started on Flight Sim 2004, Flight Sim 2004. Whoa, that was a camera operator gets crazy every now and then. Must have had too much chili.
Unable to find view ID 51.
There goes gear up. Nicholas has spent most of his time in Microsoft Flight Simulator products, but he says that X-Plane is his preferred flight sim. He does appreciate Microsoft Flight Sim for its low and flow VFR flying. He's always been interested in aviation, growing up in a house where he learned to work on cars, motorcycles, and boats, and aviation was just an extension of his love for all things mechanical. He's flying a General Dynamics Lockheed Martin F-16. The United States Air Force accepted delivery of the first production standard F-16A in January of 1979. And variants of the F-16 are still flying for the Air Force today, 45 years later. Initially powered by Pratt & Whitney F-100 PW series afterburning turbofan engines that produced 23,000 pounds of thrust. Upgraded F-16s today, or new model F-16s, have anywhere from 29,000 to 32,000 pounds of thrust. More than 4,500 F-16s of various types have been produced for 26 nations since 1979. They are still in production today. We're expecting his first pass today to be a high-speed pass. Into a high, steep bank turn. Now we'll expect him to do a low-speed pass. Setting up, still quite a ways away from the field. Looks like flats are down and slats are down. Who's coming in a what we call dirty configuration. That's super slow, folks. Our drone's only flies about 90 knots, and As you can see, the jet's not pulling away at a rapid rate of speed. Nice, low, and slow, dirty pass. Folks, the choir director from the Galesburg Augusta Middle School would like to apologize to anybody that participated in the choir's tent pressure washing fundraiser last night. They did not realize nylon was not rated to 2,600 PSI. Nicholas is lining up for his next photo pass, so everyone get your cameras out. You do a vertical. Looks like he flying a loop to give the crowd a show. As he climbs out towards the far end of the box, he'll turn back into the field and set up for his second to next pass. Correction, second to last pass. Now we're expecting Nicholas to perform a continuous roll Immelman. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Cork McDouglas, his presentation of AV gas dad jokes. I'll say that again. Captain Cork McDouglas' presentation of AV gas dad jokes, they're a gas, has been moved to Hangar B. They're expecting a much larger crowd, so get there early. And this last pass should be a low approach to a high performance climb out. Up to about 5,000 feet.
Transient aircraft on 123.45. Say your call sign.
Airbus number 187 Delta L39 about 20 miles north of the field. Looking for permission to enter the box for a overhead full stop landing.
For 187 Delta, you're cleared into the box overhead. Making a right downwind landing for runway 21.
Clear in the box, right brake for 2187 Delta.
Looks like
394 Alpha Mike, good show, my friend, good show. Cleared out of the box, right downwind 21.
Thank you, cleared out of the box, right downwind 21 for Alpha Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, we actually have another aircraft that's going to be landing. That wasn't part of the performance today. So after they were landed, then our last performance of the virtual USA Coast Guard will take place. In the meantime, we are going to try to pop up the link for the voting. We do ask that you wait to vote until after the Coast Guard, Virtual USA Coast Guard has completed their performance. And again, it's just a reminder that the polls will continue to be open
You just find it park in the grass where everyone else is.
for 30 minutes after the show.
After landing, if you could, please park in the grass on the east side of the field, east side of the field.
Right east side in the grass for 87 Delta.
Ladies and gentlemen, there on your the broadcast stream, you should see the QR code for the straw poll vote. Also, if you want to, you can type in chat !vote, and you'll get a link. But again, we ask that people not begin voting until after the Coast Guard performance. If you take long flights in small planes, check out the G-Wiz catheters at table number 6. You can try out their one-size-fits-all package, then take advantage of their 2-for-1 deal. And remember, P-factor isn't just a force on your aircraft.
Transit aircraft, you're clear to land runway 21. Again, exit the runway to the left to get to the east side of the grass.
Clear to land, exit left to 87 Delta.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're just waiting for that aircraft to land.
87 Delta is clearing the grass. Thanks for letting us in.
No problem. Appreciate you flying in. Alright, virtual U.S. Coast Guard. The runway is yours. You are cleared into the box. It is your show. It is also your frequency.
Quick takeoff, our frequency, our box, Coast Guard. Appreciate it.
And ladies and gentlemen, the last performance of the day is the virtual U.S. Coast Guard. The two pilots today are Ryan Badger in the HC-130 Hercules and Bed Dudley in the MH-65 Dolphin. So the first performance is the C-130 Hercules is performing a high-performance takeoff and climb. There he goes right into a steep climb. Here's coming up. He's going to bank around, enter a downwind, and then our MH-65 Dolphin helicopter is going to do a runway departure. Ryan Badger, our C-130 pilot today, has been simming for 10 years, prefers X-Plane 12. Ryan is a real-world CFI and director of the virtual United States Coast Guard, which is an approved VATSIM Special Operations Organization. He's flying a Lockheed Martin HC-130J.
Dolphin's on the left end to go.
Dolphin is now making his runway departure. We're next expecting Ben to do a course reversal in the Dolphin.
Hercules coming in left or right, high-speed pass.
Our C-130 Hercules is coming in left to right to make a high-speed pass.
Dolphin has Herc in sight inbound or right to left 360.
Dolphin is coming in from right to left. To execute a 360-degree turn at midpoint. Making a sweeping 360-degree right-hand turn, which should bring him right back to midfield. The HH-65D short-range recovery helicopter that you see here, the Dolphin, is designed for short-range search and rescue operations. Secondary mission roles are patrol and observation, passenger transport, and cargo hook operations. It can operate from prepared or unprepared areas in visual and instrument flight conditions, day or night, and is configured with night vision goggles and night vision goggle compatible cockpit lighting. Now he's entering into a hover at 100 foot midfield. And now we've got our Hercules inbound to do a configuration pass for a raft drop. So again, they're simulating a condition where they've got several people in the water that they need to rescue, so you've got the helicopter hovering nearby, directing the aircraft into the target area. And as the aircraft approaches, the back door opens, the crew continues to get the rafts ready, and we'll push them out the back door. Now we've got our C-130 lined up and ready to make its pass. That aircraft is, the C-130 is powered by 4 Rolls-Royce AE 2100 D3 turboprop engines, each providing 4,600 shaft horsepower. It was introduced in 1999 and over 500 were made. So now you can see that C-130 coming in for their low approach. Rear cargo door is open.
The raft is away.
And rafts are away.
Insight and Dolphin starting the circle, you can switch.
Now Dolphin is going to complete what they call an orbit pattern, so you'll notice they'll kind of keep the nose aligned. Just enter a circling left fake turn to make sure that the area is safe for rescue operations to continue. After they make sure that the area is clear and relatively safe, they will set up operations to deploy a swimmer.
Dolphin's reestablishing a hover for the waist.
Now the Dolphin's getting established in hover. Over the would-be rescuees. And you notice he'll bring his hover down quite low so that they can safely deploy this swimmer. Does take a while. Obviously, they're lowering the swimmer on a tow hook. Rescuers in the water, so the helicopter is leaving the area. Now our C-130 Hercules is coming around on left base to make their final approach and landing here at the field. Making sort of a tactical landing approach. Some pretty steep rate of descent. Full landing configuration. And a nice touchdown. Oh, we got the C-130 is performing a reversing maneuver. The C-130 is capable of power reverse maneuver, so it doesn't require tugs if they're happen to be at an airfield that doesn't have such services. See, backed up to where you can make the taxiway. Flaps are coming up.
Great show, great show, Coast Guard, great show.
Everybody, let's give the virtual U.S. Coast Guard a big round of applause. Fantastic show.
All Virtue USA Flying Club performers that are still connected, please line up near show center for a group photo. Face east to west, nose west, nose west.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the second annual Virtual USA Flying Club. We're actually getting some folks into position for a final photo. And don't forget to vote. We hope that you enjoyed watching this broadcast as much as the performers and team here at the Jeffrey B channel enjoyed bringing it to you. We hope to see you all again next summer for the third annual Virtual USA Flying Club Air Show to be held in 2025. Keep an eye on the club Discord for more information as it becomes available. Don't forget to scan the QR code. It's at the bottom of the screen. And vote for the best performance of the show. Again, that poll will only be open for about another 30 minutes. Our air boss today was club founder Mike Cinnante from the Jet Pilot Cinnamon Twitch channel. Our airfield monitor and X-Plane Airshow scenery developer is Michael Minuck from the November 8033 Fox Twitch channel. Our Microsoft scenery designer was Ben Speidel. And our backup air boss and backup airfield monitor today was Stephen Hayes. Our show would not have been possible today without the members of the Virtual USA Flying Club who performed, nor without the support of VATSIM, VAT USA, and the Chicago Virtual ARTCC. And our final thanks goes to VATGov 12, who fully supported and approved our waiver to conduct this air show on the VATSIM network. And folks, we're just making one final drone pass to get one last shot of all our performers at tonight's show. We hope you enjoyed watching. It was a pleasure to put it on again this year. We hope to see you next year. And with that, we shut it down.